I want to thank my wife for coming tonight, but not my 4 rotten kids. They didn't show up because they have all kinds of other stuff that they're doing. It's tough to answer the question, who is this guy and why should I vote for him? I think the important question really is, we have so many stakeholders in Glen Rock. We've got the sports groups. We've got the people who are very concerned about taxes. We've got the seniors. We've got people who are concerned about fiscal responsibility. We have a whole wide range. And the question for you, when you look at me, is, do I have the experience in those areas? And a bigger question is, do I have a lot of depth in those areas? And I'll just say a couple of things. One, school systems in the family. People are very concerned about that. My youngest of the 4, who's at a dance class right now, she started in the kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, and she's in the 7th grade now. So I'm very familiar with the school system. I teach at Bergen Community College. I teach in the business department there, so I know the school systems, I know academics. I retired early from a 30-year global pharmaceutical career. I lived in Europe for years. I spent a lot of time in the Far East and South America. And I retired young, I retired early, and the division that I ran, I was the CEO when I left, was a $500 million division, and I spent a lot of time on the capital budgets and the expenses, which are probably 35 times the size of the one that we have here in Glen Rock. So I have a lot of experience with budgets, expenses, and those types of things. I said before, community service, community activity, and community interest that people have in Glen Rock. I left the pharmaceutical chemical industry early, and I wanted to give back. I teach at Bergen Community College. And for some of you of watching the Facebook over Memorial Day, my uncle was killed in B-24 in 1944 over Italy. And I head up a foundation to honor his name. No salary, no expenses whatsoever. You do it because you want to do it. And that has grown, and it does a lot of work with research, education. I've done a lot of work with the DARE programs here. We run a drug and alcohol program at the Bergen County Jail once a month. So community service and give back is something that's of very interest to me. And the one that's really near and dear to my heart is, although Christine says she's the youngest, surprising as it may seem, I'm older than Bruce, but I am an official senior. I am a card-carrying AARP member. I belong to for the last 15 years, I belong to the Glen Rock Activities Club here. A lot of retired gentlemen, or soon-to-be retired gentlemen. I just joined and I never retired. I just kept going, and I've given a lot of presentations there. I'm a history buff. I do a lot of travel for scuba diving and things like that, and I've given presentations there. So if you take a look at why am I running, I believe in giving back, as I said before. And if you've followed the events in the last years, Glen Rock is at a pivotal point in requiring leadership, experience, transparency, and communication. If you've read my Gazette letters or watched me on the Glen Rock TV, standing up and talking about what we need to do in this town, you know what I stand for. So I don't have to go through. Read my resume. If you have any questions at any point, just ask me. Thank you very much.